end of 2017, I had a chance to go through a murder trial. In late 2016, I decided I want to open up a nonprofit charity and talk about the grieving process and situations like mine, that stuff like this happens, that there's family members that take their own lives and take lives of the children. And there's people like me that are left, and we have to live on, we have to move on, we have to process it, and we have to be here. I had a friend that I did her hair. She filed all necessary paperwork to IRS, along with the mission statement explaining how I lost Zuzanka, how it affected me, and telling the officer that my mission is to turn my loss, pain, and anger into positive energy to support other families like me and be a supporting system for them and try to help them go through the grieving process. I wanted to organize events, talk about my loss, gather funds for funerals and other children and their parents affected by tragedies like mine. The IRS officer was so polite that he reached out to me through the phone. He asked me all the necessary questions. He asked me for the other paperwork that needed to be filled out. It took us like 7 months back and forth to file all the paperwork, to file the 501c3, for the articles of incorporation and everything. We got the employer identification number in May of 2017. Picking out a name for the charity was a funny story. I want to mention that for you guys. I started asking friends around what would the name be. What would be an appropriate name for what I want to do. One of my friends, he came up with the idea of naming the charity Tears in Heaven. He explained to me that Eric Clapton lost his son due to the little boy jumping out of the window, and he wrote a song, Tears in Heaven, so that might be an appropriate name. He reached out to the manager of his, and the manager said it's fine to pick out the name. So we basically decided that this might be a good idea, because if people know the song, they will know that this might be associated with a child and the death. So that's how we settled down on the name. It was just amazing feeling to start creating something that made sense and being able to express what I wanted to do and express myself and my feelings. In the end of 2017, I had a chance to go through a murder trial. It was for a mom that took a life of her own son and the girl that she was babysitting. There was something inside of me that wanted to see what the murder trial looks like, because I had no chance to go through mine because Robert took his life. I spent a week in the courthouse sitting there looking at all the evidence, being able to see what evidence they bring up, what kind of things they look at, what kind of pictures they pull up, what phone calls they track, what motions they track, how the whole murder trial is set up, listening to judges, prosecutors, defense attorneys, being able to see what goes into trial, what is being looked for, what is being brought up, how the inside of a murder trial actually looks like, because I haven't had a chance to have mine because he took his life. And mine was done and over, and I wasn't able to process the fact that he's gone for real. It was a devastating process at once, because I got to see all the pictures of those kids and the crime scene. I got to experience all the pain and all the emotions and all that the parents on the other side would go through. But at the same time, I was able to process and see and imagine what it would look like if he would be alive, if I would be the one sitting there and processing the same thing. It has given me an insight of a murder trial, some closure, mixed feelings, different outlook at attorneys, different view of what goes in, and as well as the knowledge that I could not have otherwise. It had changed the outlook at the grieving process for me because I could see the other side of it, being able to express my feelings and process the things that I haven't had a chance before. In the beginning of 2018, I found a friend who created the webpage for Tears in Heaven. It took a little bit of a time to organize the pages. It took me quite a while to write the stories, to write the mission statement, to put together the story about Zuzanka, to put together the little inside pages that I wanted on the page. But it felt like something new and something amazing was being created, and it gave me a better, warmer feeling that I might be able to help somebody by doing what I'm doing. Once it was almost put together, I opened a Facebook page. It was just easier for me to work off of Facebook than work off of the main page because the processing and everything was just easier for me. I started meeting people, attending various events associated with bringing up my charity and talking about loss of Zuzanka and my grieving process and my feelings and my memories associated with it. My first big event was the Halloween fundraising event in 2018 that I decided to organize for the charity. I rented out a banquet hall in Woodridge, printed out tickets, ordered food, ordered appetizers, and started walking around introducing Tears in Heaven. I walked around for like 2 months with the flyers for the charity, with the story on the flyers, telling people who I am, what I do, asking them for gift cards, for different prizes that I could put together as baskets. As time went by, in 2 months, I gathered 87 baskets that I was able to have at my Halloween event. I called the radio stations. The radio station 100.3 decided that they want to come and they want to be a part of the event. The fire department from Woodridge wanted to be a part of it. They wanted to bring a truck and entertain the kids. By the time October came, I was pretty much all set, but it was not the Halloween event yet. I attended the event that my friends from the beauty salon have organized for us because we had a shelter home for abused women on the north side, and we decided that maybe those girls need toiletries. So we organized an event and we asked people to attend and bring toiletries for them. We got so many toiletries that we couldn't fit in like 3 cars. On top of that, we got money, so I asked the nuns that ran the house what would they need. They said they need pots and pans and they need some more toothpaste and stuff. I just went ahead and bought it. And around, I think it was October 17, I just put it in my car and dropped it off. You should have seen the faces of them when they got all those things. It was just amazing to be that someone and just give it to him. Once October came and the Halloween event, One of the ladies decided that she's gonna donate 100 t-shirts with the logos of Tears in Heaven. It was so nice of her that I got something that huge donated. It made me feel good and better and made me be happy that someone appreciates and actually supports my mission. The Halloween event turned out to be a very, very successful event. We had like 150 people attended the event, a lot of kids. Everyone seemed to be happy. Everyone was dressed up in the Halloween costumes. It was an amazing event. We raised like $2,700. We worked a lot, but it was such an achievement for the first event that we ever done. It was great.